Hi, my name is Felipe, a sales engineer at Insightly. Today I'm going to show an integration between Insightly and Microsoft Teams using AppConnect, our integration platform. Our use case is that we have a company that needs to notify their internal members that a new project is ready to be worked on. The team members will be notified that they're assigned to this project, and they'll have a dedicated channel created to collaborating and messaging within Microsoft Teams. We've seen this at Insightly with quite a few customers that want to have a tight integration between their internal communications and their CRM so that they can align their teams with a single source of truth and ultimately increase revenue by completing their projects quicker. I've set up a project here so you don't have to see me type things in, but the main points that I want to mention are the project name, the organization. You can see that we have a status as well as a category and a point of contact. We also have a main email as well as a proposed finish date. And as part of the project, we've also set up a pipeline. So we have the different stages. In this case, I'm going to start with the setup stage. And we also have this checkbox that we want to denote that we want to create a Teams channel based off this project. This isn't necessary, but just wanted to have this one here just to show how it would work. Okay, I'll just click Save here. And we've got our project in the setup stage. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my team members. So I'm going to add two of them, one being myself and one being my colleague Liam. I'm going to add myself as an advisor, and I'll add Liam here as a project manager. We now have our project set up with our contacts and team members, and we also have all the details that we would need. So what I'm going to do here is simply click this, meaning I'm going to be moving this project to the next stage. Now that the project is in this other stage, we can now check on Microsoft Teams to see what the update has been in that channel. So we can see here that the Microsoft Teams has now updated and shown me a notification. So I, as somebody that's on this project, have been notified within Teams. When I click here, I can see that I'm getting some relevant information. So I'm getting the name of the project. I'm getting notified that I am assigned to it, as well as a few other details that we were talking about earlier. So we have the customer name, we have their email, and then as well as that proposed completion date. Now, the interesting thing here is that any of these fields that we had from the project can actually be brought in. I just thought these would be the most relevant. But the nice thing about this is we're providing that context for the teams to stay aligned. And they'd be able to execute faster without having to jump back and forth between different tools such as the CRM and Teams. But that being said, what I've also done is I've added the link to the project here. So if we did want to go and refer to this, we could click it and go back to that project. But the idea would be that the team members would be able to collaborate from here directly. If we go to our teams, we can also see that we have our new channel created. And so at this point, the different team members have that area that they'll be able to collaborate and be able to continue from here. So now that we've seen this information here, what I want to do is show a bit about what's going on under the hood. So I'm going to switch over to the Insightly workflow criteria. And from here, we can see that we have a few different things in system settings. So this is what I've set up in order to trigger this integration. And the nice thing about this is that we're able to change and modify the criteria based on how we want this integration to trigger. I'm going to click this edit button right here, and we can see the different pieces of criteria that I've set up for a project to be able to trigger this integration. We can see that once the stage gets to data collection, we want to trigger this, as well as that checkbox that we have that we set up in that project. If I click here, you can see that we can use any of the project standard fields or any custom fields to trigger these integrations. The idea behind this being that we want to make sure that we have all the flexibility within here to be able to accommodate any workflows or processes that you would have at your own company. I'm going to click Save here. Now, this is where the integration is triggered from within Insightly, but what I also want to show is how the integration works within AppConnect. So I'm switching over to here, and what we're looking at is an AppConnect workflow, or what we call a recipe. You can see that we have, at a high level view, a few different triggers and actions. So in this case, we have the trigger of that workflow process that I just showed, and then we're also doing a few things. So we're getting the object name, we're getting those contacts that we added, creating a user list for the people to add teams, and adding or creating that private channel and posting that message. Now, one of the interesting things about this is clicking into one of these, we can use the steps in one of the previous actions that we have within this recipe. So for example, you can see here that we're using the section that we've created in the path before, but if we go down, we can also see all of the details that we're pulling in into that project. This is just as simple as selecting the specific data piece that we want and then just dragging it in. So it's very easy to be able to customize to your specific workflow. As far as another level of customizability, adding any section or any piece or step to this is very simple. So you just click something like this and we can define where in the workflow we want other things to happen. On the right-hand side, you can see that we have a large group of a bunch of popular applications. So any of these would be able to be used. As far as creating another step, if we wanted to, say, notify another application of this project or fit something else within this workflow. The other nice thing about this is outside of these connections that we have out of the box, we can also connect to anything with an API. So putting these things together will allow you to have kind of that level of flexibility within AppConnect. Again, enabling those workflows that will allow your teams to execute quicker and work more efficiently. If you have any questions on mapping your organization's workflows or integrations with AppConnect, please reach out to your sales team here at Insightly.